Stock Resources, symbol CRK. Kind of quiet range bound trading, and then boom, we get the big breakout back in February. Excuse me, back in March. And this breakout comes after a prolonged tight trading range. So these breakouts tend to be pretty big when they do happen. Very good momentum here. So this stock is definitely of interest. We can pick that up on the 1 month chart here. We see that it leveled out at the $45 level and then just absolutely took off. We know that oil is making a new all-time high, and natural gas has also been making a new high. We can see relatively tight trading here, narrow range, and then an explosive move higher. Given the other charts that we've looked at, I'm going to take a pass on this one. We can see how choppy and volatile the trading has been. There's really no pace to this stock, and it is range bound. Noble Energy has also been working its way higher, tends to go in stages, range bound, breakout, range bound, breakout, so it might settle into a range. Of the other energy stocks we've looked at, they actually look much stronger than this stock does, so we'll take a pass on it as well. The symbol is NBL for this. This is symbol APC, Anadarko Petroleum. Fairly choppy price action, but it is consistently moving higher. So I do like that. We see the horizontal resistance level in the breakout. Then it retested that breakout, and now it looks like it's going to be moving higher again. On a 1 month basis, we can see exactly that. The stock comes up and establishes $70 resistance back in the end of March. Back in the end of April. Pulls back to the $65 level, and then it's off to the races. On a 1 week basis, you can see relatively range-bound trading and a big breakout. All commodity stocks, I should mention, have pulled back in recent weeks due to the stronger dollar, and today all of those commodity stocks gapped higher, and it looks like they'll be rejoining their long-term uptrend. Here's an energy stock that looks very strong. We see the tight range here. Stock traded between $35 and $42. And back in February, it exploded higher, and the stock's never looked back. It hasn't even pulled back briefly. It paused here for about a week or two, but it continues to move higher. On a 1 month basis, we can see how the stock rested here for a brief period of time, and then once it got through the $64 level, it just shot higher. Again, like most energy stocks, sideways trading, explosive move today. I like this stock. It's got a very, very strong chart. Here we have another energy company. We can see the choppy trading pattern. As I mentioned, we're looking for relative strength, and we're even looking for relative strength within its sector. We have many better energy stocks to pick from than this one, so we'll keep moving on. This is a pretty interesting stock, very range-bound trading, explosive move higher. It's Canadian Solar, and the symbol is CSIO. Explosive move higher up to the $30 level. Pullback, range bound, and now this stock is actually starting to get back on track. So this is probably an overbought condition. Once some of the fluff was taken out of it and the stock had a chance to consolidate, now it's moving higher, and this might actually be a pretty legitimate move. Take a look at the 1 month chart. Again, we see that it's been chopping around, had a nice big move here recently above that $28 level. And here we have the trading for the course of the week. Today was a huge day for it. It rallied from $26 up to $31. So an extremely big move, obviously news related. The stock doesn't have quite the pattern that I would be looking for because it's been very choppy. But for those of you that are looking for a fast horse to play, this one might be it. It won't be my chart of the week though. And again, the symbol is CSIO. And then finally, we'll take a look at SCIO. This is a steel producer, in particular scrap steel. And we can see that the stock has been choppy, but it had been moving higher. In January, it came back and tested that $50 support. Since February, this stock has been on an absolute rocket shot. You can see how strong the movement has been. It had a brief pullback in here. Once it got through this resistance level at $75, the stock has continued to move higher. Iron prices and steel prices are currently at their all-time highs, so the fundamentals for this company are very, very strong. Out of all the stocks this week, I really have to look at XCC as being the best trade candidate. We have an extremely tight trading range here, and once this stock breaks out above that $45 level, it just has the most powerful move with only a brief pause here, rallies up to a new high at a time when it really could have pulled back substantially off that high when most commodity stocks sold off a week ago. This stock barely pulled back, and here we are right back up, challenging those all-time highs again. And the 1 month chart shows exactly that. Remember that prior to this $58 level, the stock had already been making a considerable move. Runs up, establishes the $64 relative high, only pulls back to about $62 when other energy stocks and commodity stocks were pulling back 10 or 15%. This stock only shed $2, and then now that those stocks are starting to rebound again, not only does it get back to its all-time high, it blows right through it. So tremendous amount of strength here. We can see that again on the weekly chart. Stock does pull back here a little bit, but really holds its ground and explodes higher. So this is my stock of the week. I always like to mention that this is solely based on technical analysis at this juncture. Before I would actually do an option trade on it, I'd do extensive fundamental research on it. I'd want to take a look at the last earnings report, find out what the guidance has been on it, find out what recent news has hit the stock as well, and then I'd be taking a look at the options markets to find out what the implied volatilities are, and also take a look at what the liquidity, the bid-ask spreads in the options are. With a move of this nature, where the stock has the possibility of being overbought, I might be leaning towards a put credit spread strategy, and I would be inclined to look at the 65-60 put credit spread, given that that's the breakout level here. And if I did get a pullback in the stock, I might actually consider this $60 strike price and look at doing a 60-55 put credit spread. So I'd like to play it a little bit safe at this juncture. I also mentioned that the market is close to making a new relative high, and it's approaching that SPY 145 level. So this is a time to play it kind of close to the vest, and I think a put credit spread gives me enough distance to be able to reel the spread back in if the market does meet substantial resistance and it starts to pull back. So this is the chart of the week. Good luck trading.